You ready? Well, you're one of the leaders back as part of this rebuild. How does year two feel with Coach Murczek, having some familiarity of the system he wants to run, and of Emporia State, just the city and community and the team and some of your teammates?
I feel like it's a really good balance with Coach Jeff being in here. They brought in a really good group of girls, strong group of 8 girls up in there. It's super competitive, and we're all super excited to see what's to come for the rest of the season.
I know Coach was really excited about his assistant coach. You mentioned Coach Grove. What's it been like to kind of bring him into the program?
He's brought a lot of diversity. His IQ in the gym is very wide, so he doesn't just coach middles. He knows how to coach the setters and the back row, which we really appreciate. And it just gives us a lot of insight onto him as a person as well. So, yeah, he's a great coach with great IQ.
How does your expectation change? Obviously, last year you guys had come in with a bunch of new players, a new coach, and there was not really a level of expectation based on the previous seasons. And you guys made the MIAA tournament. So how does that change how you guys are viewing this season in terms of what you want to accomplish this year?
Right. I think it's since we went to the championship last year, it's a standard for Emporia State volleyball now. Just to come in, that's what we should expect going in, finishing off our season. We should be where we landed at last year, pretty much. But we just started new expectations, and we're still getting to know each other. But it's a great group of girls.
Obviously, your partner in crime, you had a lot of sets to last year, is gone. I assume that obviously is going to require some adjustment, because you could always just kind of know that Sandra was going to be there. But is it nice to have more options offensively for you as well?
Yeah, I mean, we're really sad to see her go, obviously, but we're really excited to see what's to come. Like MK had said, we brought in a big group of really good girls ready to work, and it's going to broaden our offense tremendously. We kind of became an easy team to read, and, we have a lot of new girls, new faces, and we're really excited to see what happens.
As the setter, how important has it been for you? Obviously, when you are setting one player so much, you kind of just need to know, okay, well, this is where she likes the ball. How is it different this year, needing to get on the same timing and learn all the new hitters and how they want to set the ball?
It's definitely an adjustment. Like you said, only having one versus multiple hitters now to work with. But I feel like we've done a good job getting in the gym when we can throughout the summer. Some girls are from overseas, but getting in with who I can, and it's going to take time to build that connection with them. But overall, things are moving. We're moving the chain, and it's gonna be good.
Well, and you came in as a true freshman last year, and you played a lot of sets. I think you set almost every set for Emporia State last year. How do you hope that your experience, and you had a great freshman year, are you hoping that experience is going to allow you to continue to improve, have an even better sophomore season?
Yeah, I'm really hoping that I can, kind of build off what happened last year. And, we're still in our rebuilding stages. We have new girls coming in. So I'm really excited to see how I can not only grow, as my own player, but with the team and, meet these new expectations, maybe even, get past first round at MIAA tournament, make it to second round, third round championship. So.
Well, Coach, year two, and your buzzword has kind of been moving the needle, and you guys definitely did that last year to make the MIAA tournament. How do you look at where this program is as you begin the trek that will be year two?
Well, we're always trying to improve. I think we definitely, to use your words, moved the needle last year. We went to the conference tournament for the first time since 2018. We won 7 conference matches, and I think we laid a great foundation for this season. A lot of new faces. We returned 9 players from the spring. We have 8 new players. Today was interesting. We got into 6s today, but I think the bar got raised, and I think the group that's in the gym right now is, ready to hopefully raise it higher. Right? We won 7. We finished 8th in the conference to make the conference tournament, and the goal is to be better than that. Right?
Obviously, offensively, not having Sasaki back is going to change what you guys look like on that side of the net. But I know that you had said in spring practice you were hoping that you guys could be better just because you'd have more variety. What does that process look like? taking all those attacks that Sandra had last year and spreading them around to a lot more attackers?
Well, I like ice cream and pie, and I kind of think like we had somebody that had all of it last year, and we get to spread it out this year. So, this spring, I actually think our team played at a higher level in the spring than we did in the fall, and that doesn't make sense, I think, for a lot of people. And they go, "Well, you lost an All-American," and we were very, very one-dimensional last year. If you knew anything about a box score, you would look at the box score from the match, and one player had 60 attempts, and then the next player had 20. Now, part of that was we didn't handle the first contact very well, which we addressed that in recruiting. Some of these players that we brought in, 4 of them are, ball handlers. And even today, I mentioned to the staff after the morning practice, I was just excited about our opportunity for diversity in our offense, which will be much more difficult to defend. And I think we did some of that this spring, but with 8 new ones, it was a lot of fun for a coach today from where we were at this time 1 year ago.
And then you got some returners back, and obviously it's not just going to be McKenya and Brailee Bogle, but how do you feel like those returners are helping maybe get things going faster this year for you than last year, where everything was new, the coach was new, and you were new to the players?
I always feel like the first year is the honeymoon. And I think, year 2 and 3, especially if you have a little bit of success, what does that look like? But I've been very fortunate that, the 7 players that returned from the fall, we added 2 junior college players in the spring, so we got to 9. Their buy-in has been tremendous. And it showed today. They walked in this morning, and I felt like there was I'm not big on the word swagger, but I definitely felt like there was a confidence, from those players that they went home after improving a lot during the spring and then walking in and working on their fitness over the summer. And it showed today that they walked in with their shoulders back and their head up, which was really neat to see that. And I'm proud of them for that. And they've laid, like I said, a great foundation for us to springboard to hopefully be better this year.
Talk a little bit about your coaching staff.
We were able to, when I interviewed for the job and I was offered the position, I had ran into Jeff Grove out recruiting my first weekend, and I had asked him because I knew he was out of the game for that year from K-State, and I just asked him what he was up to. And unfortunately, at that point in time, he had accepted a position and he was working in Manhattan. And it was great. I'm always trying to promote our coaches if they have ambitions to head coach. Hopefully I let them and gave them enough ownership and confidence to leave. And that happened with Laurel, which was great. She's a head coach, which is awesome in the collegiate game. And it was it prompted me to reunite with Jeff, which I did at the same tournament, which is kind of ironic, in Kansas City. And it was wonderful. We added him in March, and he was here for the spring when we got into our 20-hour week, our 15-hour week, our competitive season. And I think for me, I don't need to do everything. I've done this long enough that if I feel like somebody can help us improve in another area, they can run with it. And even the way we're going to kind of organize the way we organize this spring and we'll organize now is almost in a football mentality where you have an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and they can just run with that side of the game and in practice and in the matches is what we experimented with this spring. And I feel really fortunate. It's for me, it doesn't intimidate me to hire somebody that maybe is better at stuff than I am. I want the program to be better. And his relationship, I think, with the girls, he's a different personality than I am. And that was important for me. Nobody needs 2 of me in the gym. That's not good for anybody. So I think that the spring was great. I've heard the girls say it's a great balance between the 2 of us. And then we were able to hire Kendall, which was awesome. And Kendall played 5 years of college volleyball. And she's coached 2 years, and I think she brings definitely a different perspective than Jeff and I have. It's a really crazy story how Kendall and I connected. Her dad and I have played at adult nationals for the last 25 years together. And it's ironic that he had reached out to me when we were doing interviews for graduate students, and he had said, "Hey, my daughter's looking to get into college coaching full time, and a couple people had recommended graduate assisting as a good way to get in." And I said, "Listen, we're right in the middle of interviews. Have her send me your stuff." And I didn't know her very well. Obviously, I have the relationship with the father. But it was Jeff and I, did Zoom interviews, and she was great. What stood out about me was I knew the volleyball. We don't really need a lot of help with the volleyball, but her ability to be organized. She was the general manager at a bar and restaurant back in Fort Wayne, and to do that at her age, to me was like, listen, she's got some real world experience that I think she'll walk in here and, I'll be able to throw a lot on her, and she's type A and she's great. So it's been a great transition. I think even today, her, she's trying to build relationships with the girls, and I think they respect her, and, she's not the voice that I am. And I even talked about that after the first practice today with the staff is, my voice in the gym is going to be, it's hard. And you got to pick and choose your times, and, pulling kids off to the side and kind of getting in their ear one-on-one is, going to be her role. And she did a wonderful job with it today.
Last thing, you got your bags packed? So you're not going to play at home for a while?
My wife brought up October 4th. What? So, yeah, it's unfortunately difficult to host a tournament when you haven't done it in a while and you don't have a lot of traction. Not impossible, but I really liked the fact that we're in a region that we can drive an hour or 2 or 3 hours and get some pretty good matches. And we'll start the season off with a ranked team. I'm going to guess Rockhurst will be, top 25. And that to me, I want another shot at them. We had a shot there last year. And you got to schedule, tough. We're going to get to see some teams from the RMAC and some other conferences, which is going to be fun. But we also, I want to win some matches and put ourselves in a position, going into conference. The ideal situation was not to be on the road for the first, 6 weeks. But it is what it is. And, I think we'll celebrate when we get here. Obviously, we want to get the volley band and, get the atmosphere back in white where it was, and hopefully put a better product on the floor. That's the goal.